G'day everyone, welcome back to my little home machine shop. I don't have a specific video for you today. What I am doing is catching up on some work that I've got in here. And some of that work is for my little 4-stroke engine. And I've got to do some CNC work, but I won't show that as well. So I've never finished off those cylinder heads, so that's what I need to do. I finished off one, I had 4 to make. I've got 3 more to do the top level servicing on, and then I've got to drill all the ports and do some machining for the ports as well into those cylinder heads for the intake and exhaust chambers. Now on a side note, this is another little job that came to the shop, and this is from Scott up there in Queensland. He sent me some little cast Britannia loco wheels that I need to machine, and there's the drawing there. Quite an old drawing, 1977, 1978, and this one over here for the axle boxes is around 1980, I believe. Not the axle boxes, for the axles, sorry. So that's coming up in a following video, and they're a nice, really nice little cast object there. So they'll be, how would you say, not challenging, but a little bit of a challenge for me to do, all right? Now I've got a bit of a mess here in my workshop at the moment, so don't judge me, I've got crap everywhere. But what I did buy through the week was another Ditron DRO, and I bought the kit, and there it is there. Okay, now even though it looks like a mill one, you can dedicate it to be a lathe. I'll turn it on for you just to give you guys a bit of a look-see. All right, we'll turn that on. And I got this through the company called Extra Machinery up there in New South Wales. And now it is in lathe mode, but even though it's showing 3 axes, because when I switch dedicated to lathe mode, and unless I can change it, it gives me X and Y and not X and Z, and I hate that. It should be Z axis, as you know, for the longitudinal feed, and X axis for the cross slide. Anyway, I thought I'd keep Y, just in case I put another little small scale on the compound slide, so if I'm doing angular approach threading, I can get a nice accurate measurement. But anyway, food for thought. So watch this space, guys. That's another thing I need to fit up to my lathe, because I'm sick and tired of working in bloody imperial. Christ, I hate it. Anyway, but I don't want to cause an argument here. So look, without further ado, let's get into it, and stick with me. It should be a fun one, all right? I brought you over to the milling machine, and I've got the cylinder header in here. Now it's amazing, you know, when you get off this for a couple of weeks, you forget what operations you did previously. Well, I do anyway. Especially as this is not my full-time job. As you know, I'm a school teacher. So I'd forgotten that I'd actually put an indexing mark on each one of these cylinder heads so I can line it up. Otherwise I'd have to put my indicator in and sweep along that edge to get it parallel to the y-axis. But anyway, I just about put a dial gauge on it and realised that I put the indicator mark on. So let's get into this now. Now that's a 5mm depth of cut with about 4mm step over, all right? So I'm just sneaking up on it. Righto, that's number 2. 2 more to go, then we'll do the ports. Now in the earlier footage I was talking about forgetting things, because I haven't been on this project for about 2 weeks. And you would have heard in the previous clip I talked about my witness mark here. indexing mark so I could line it back up again. And I went straight ahead and got stuck in it and did everything, but I forgot to drill the spark plug hole. So that's what I need to do here now. I need to come down with a end mill first and plunge in to get a flat bottom, otherwise that drill wants to walk as I drill in. So here we go. Just want to get a flat surface happening here. And that should have it. Now, believe it or not, I can still see my spot drill mark, so I should be able to drop in now and drill that. Now, you would have seen in that little sweeping shot there that I've still had the DRO set up to 0,0 when I originally spot drilled those spark plug holes, so luckily I didn't move the milling machine within those 2 weeks, because had I moved any of the axes, the DRO would be inaccurate. So I've taken the drill bit out, put the spot drill back in. And back up it like a rat up a drain pipe. I love the way that SG cast chips. It actually chips like you're drilling steel. You can see those chips as I'm peck drilling away at it. Once again, this hole is for the spark plug. Okay, we're all the way through. We'll get into the milling now and mill these down, then I'll stick this one back in and drill it. All the 3 cylinder heads have been milled and drilled. I've still got to drill them for the spark plug. I think I've got an order of tap for that. There's the second one, there's the third one. Quite happy with the results. This is the one that I forgot to drill earlier. So I'm just going to quickly give him a quick spot drill and then drop in and drill that. Righto, change over the drill bit. Let's get into it. And look at those stringy chips. That's what I was talking about before. How cool is that? That's SG cast for you. If you're wondering where this was poured, this was poured at Beckwith Foundry here, right here in Melbourne, in a little suburb called Coburg. They've been running a long time there. They're also doing non-ferrous there as well. Look at those chips. Bloody beautiful. Rightio guys, so this spark plug, I believe it's a 10mm metric thread by 1mm pitch. So I've ordered a tap off Fleabay for that, so let's drill it. Now, my drill's probably running a little bit fast for this, but we'll just see how it goes. Beautiful. Okay, 3 more to do. Right, I've got my countersink in here at the moment. I'm going to bring it down and just going to turn the motor off when I... See here, that looks nice. Just to take that burr off. Righto guys, this is where I got up to today. You can see they're all done there. And I've got them set up over here now in the mill vise. And the reason I've got it set up like that is because I put a pin in and I can rotate that till I get these two holes perfectly horizontal. That will allow me to access that port, and then I can swap around, obviously change the pinhole and do the other two. So I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to pull this video up here. My wife's just having a procedure in hospital, so I'm going to go pick her up and I've just run out of time. However, here's my new shop dog. Now there's only one other YouTuber that's seen this dog, and that's Tom at Hilltop Machine Works. I sent Tom a photo the other day. He's a little cross Chihuahua Jack Russell. He's 9 months old. He weighs about 6 kilograms. Not sure what that is in pounds. But I've still got my old black girl. She's nearly, I'd say she's 17 now, little miniature Pomeranian. And a lot of you know that I lost my little long-haired Chihuahua that's been on this channel before. I lost him a year ago, so it's a year. We got him last Saturday, and it was a year last Sunday that we lost him. So he's a welcome addition, mate. He's a beautiful little dog and very loving, just sooky, just wants cuddles all the time. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll get back into these and finish it, and I'll put that in the next video. I'm sorry that I didn't complete them today. Cheers, see you next time.